person of YouTube. It's Lyster-Bradley as always, and as you can see, I am still trying to protect myself to the best of my abilities. Anyone who wants to come at me, just try it. I dare you. Anyway, recently I got a message telling me that the multiverse was going to send me a massive punishment, and I am not looking forward to it. And if you think that the multiverse punishment is just a good stern talking to and a spanking, maybe that's how it works for children, but not for adults. No, we get something far worse. And dear Lord Almighty, I am not looking forward to my multiverse punishment. Anywho, so today I thought I'd make a video for Halloween. Well, it's not Halloween yet. We're in October, so you know. Anyway, and if you're wondering about part 2 of Halloween's Light and Darkness, look forward to that in the upcoming month. Today, I want to talk to you about found footage movies. More specifically, The Blair Witch. There's the title. Blair Witch. Blair Witch. For a lot of people, found footage movies have a way of scaring them to pissing their pants somewhat. Blair Witch is actually one of them, and this is what I would say is possibly a remake to the original Blair Witch, which I didn't quite see, but anyway. A group of college students venture into the Black Hills Forest in Maryland to uncover the mysteries surrounding the disappearance of their friend's sister, who many believe is connected to the legend of the Blair Witch. At first, the group is hopeful, especially when a pair of locals offer to act as guides through the dark and winding woods. But as the endless night wears on, the group is visited by a menacing presence. Slowly, they begin to realize the legend is all too real and more sinister than they could have imagined. Special features include audio commentary with director Adam Wingard and writer Simon Barrett. House of Horrors, exploring the set. A truly terrifying cinematic experience. Horror will never be the same. Well, that's what they say about a lot of found footage movies. If you look throughout social media or media in general, we do have quite a few found footage movies. Specifically, all the Paranormal Activity movies, Blair Witch especially. But the thing of it is, we don't actually know if these things are real. We don't know if these movies are real or not. And I was hoping to do this as a live stream. Maybe I will still do that someday as a live stream. And I'm going to take off my glasses because glare from that and that, I need like glare resistant whatever, you know, when it comes to my glasses. And, well, fuck you too, glasses. Fuck you too. Anyway, with found footage movies, there's always some kind of fear that we experience with all of it. We don't really know if it's possibly our brains telling us that this footage is real and that we should be fearful of what's out there. Because we don't know. None of us even know. Science has done many miraculous things, except possibly bring the dead to life, which we don't want that happening, unless they can like bring back the souls somehow. Anyway, sorry, my mustaches. Anyway, found footage has a way of sometimes scaring the piss out of us. I actually remember this one time that me and Austin, my brother, were watching one of the Paranormal Activity movies. I think it might have been the fourth one. It might have been the fourth one. There was a scene where a shadowy figure just popped up and right at the camera, right at the camera. Jump scared me and him. Jump scared both of us. And I normally don't get jump scared by movies, but that was a pretty damn good one. It's important to know that most horror movies are targeted to specific audiences, and at least 9 times out of 10, I'm probably wrong on the math, but this is just an estimate. I'm willing to bet 9 times out of 10 there's at least those 9 people that are in fact scared by some of these situations and movies. And that's all well and good. But the way they're targeted at that audience is why they become so scary, and in turn those people tell others how scary their experience was, and then others automatically want to go see the movie, or not, or watch it some other time when it's out on DVD, Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, all that jazz. And then those people are probably the same as the original viewers, and then the cycle continues in a sense, and it just becomes that's why some of these movies become popular, because some of them are drawn into their worst fears, and then they experience the fear on the big screen. Then they tell others. That's how most of these horror movie franchises have gotten to be so popular. From Nightmare on Elm Street to Blair Witch, it's all media and it's all experiences, and it's all about targeting the audience. Movies like these automatically target people who are afraid of found footage stuff, and I personally, I'm not the biggest fan of found footage stuff. I could imagine having a debate on this. I could imagine having a debate on whether this movie is real or not. You give me enough time to find studies and facts and a few quotes on this movie. I will have a debate with you on whether these movies are real or not, whether they're scary or not. And it's actually important to understand that when you're watching a horror movie for the first time, with no spoilers. Actually, I don't even know where I was going with that. Movies like My Soul to Take, The Blair Witch Project, sometimes Nightmare on Elm Street, and sometimes Wrong Turn, if you're a fan of those movies. I somewhat am. I mean, I own one of the movies. Not own like I own the franchise. I own a DVD. Anyway, a lot of these movies target you, and they are based on different fears. Like, for people who have watched The Blair Witch and have gotten scared by it, they're scared of the supernatural. They're scared of the possibility that witches do exist, that dark magic does in fact exist, that there could be something in those hills that might be taking people. It's all about how a person's brain works, in a sense. It's all about how the brain works, what's going on, what their fear is, and what the... I'm sorry, I had something to eat earlier. really wish I could edit this out. And it's all about how terrified these people are of that. Like if you recall the original Paranormal Activity trailers, where they had night vision cameras aimed at the audiences and watching them go at the movie, that is supposed to coax you into knowing or understanding how scary the movie was for them, and then wanting to go see it. It's all about putting out the footage of what happened to others in order to coax you into wanting to see it. Because I'm sorry, guys, I don't drink coffee, so I'm like yawning. I'm not completely awake. Anyway, sometimes we want to get scared by something that scares us. The Blair Witch delves deep into the paranormal at the thought of that witches probably exist. Maybe they exist. They probably don't exist, to my knowledge. But the fact that folklore and tales from the olden days told us that witches worshipped something so terrifying that they could have this terrifying power to summon monsters and demons and do all these unbelievable things, it makes you question, and in turn it makes you wonder, is it possible? I for one think it's not. I mean, maybe there are some isolated incidents of hauntings that could probably be just cold chills, cold spots, just areas of the house that just get a more natural cross breeze of some kind or something, or it's an old creaky house. When you look at everything from a scientific standpoint, it all makes sense, and some people just don't like that because, you know, it's possible that the reason people hate having science used to figure out that they shouldn't be scared of something is because they're getting angry, not because their beliefs are being questioned. I think it's more because they're getting embarrassed by the fact that they are being scared of by something that is so logical to explain. That's so simple and an everyday thing that almost anyone else has experienced, but the fact that they were scared by it, thinking there was something else, is probably what makes them angry. And for those of you who probably are watching this right now, I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry if this embarrasses you. Let your friends know that you were scared of something that wasn't actually there, but it's my video. I can say what I want. I can do what I want. Fuck all of it. Sorry about that. Anyway, specifically I wanted to talk about found footage because sometimes found footage games, movies, and other things can get a little out of hand, and it's just something that seems to interest me about it. Like, what is it psychologically that makes us fear this? That makes us fear found footage stuff? I have no idea. Oh boy. You know, if any of you have played what was that? What was that thing? What was that thing called? Sarah is Missing, or Sarah's Missing, or something. There are a few games that came out a little bit ago, like a while back. Well, maybe not a while back. I digress. A bit ago, there were a couple of games that came out specifically built around the scenario that you found a cell phone, you picked it up, you unlocked it, it was just sitting by your front porch, and you and the iris or the Siri or whatever it's called are supposed to take what you find on the phone and determine how or why the owner of the phone disappeared, and put the name of them down in the comment section, and I will play those games and I will give you my feedback, because why not? I mean, found footage stuff kind of creeps me up, but I'm not gonna stop watching it. I'll still watch Paranormal Activity. I'll still watch Blair Witch. I'll still do a bunch of shit that I don't like. Anyway. So, yeah. A lot of games that came out about found footage are definitely creepy. And I think they're creepy because it's those kinds of things, when they happen, they specifically target the situation, and it gets into your head, could this happen to me? Like, deep down, you think in your mind or in your wherever that this could happen to you, because we live in a world of possibilities. We live in a world that says some things are impossible, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're not impossible. Anyway, that's all the time I have for this video. Well, actually, wait, hang on. Sorry about that, guys. I had to check on noise. Wait, come on, glasses. Pick up. Here we go. Anyway. Excuse me. The media has made us believe that some of these things can happen. Not like news media, but like, movies, theatrical whatevers. They make us believe that these things can happen. And maybe some of them can. I won't throw out the possibility completely. I myself believe in the fact that anything that is possible can happen. Like, there's this... Actually, I'm not going to tell you stories because that's private, and anything I say would embarrass the people, and, well, I guess if I replaced their names, it wouldn't exactly do any harm. Okay, well, I had this friend named Alyssa, okay? And she wanted to tell me something. She wanted to tell me about something incredibly personal, and I, for one, I'm the kind of person who gets anxious sometimes about what they might say or what they might do or something. And my brain, I don't know if it's because of my zodiac or whatever, if you believe in the zodiac thing, but I don't know what it is, but for some reason my brain dwells on every single possibility. Whether it's they committed murder, they drove a truck into a tank of gasoline, and it's on fire, and they want my help to put out the fire. They're running from the law. They just saw a meteor crash and want me to come by and videotape it. Yes, I know those are random things, but half the time in this world, random things do happen. I don't think anyone could have predicted the earthquake in Hades. No one could have predicted whatever killed the dinosaurs. No one could have predicted that. No one could have predicted the fact that when McDonald's started out the way it did, that it would become a success or get its own movie about its origin. Nobody thought that. No one ever thought the possibility of it. Anyway, but I suppose I'm getting off track here. Some of these things are, I guess, plausible or somewhat fanciful, but they're not beyond the realm of possibility. They're not. They just aren't. They're just not. They're not beyond the realm of possibility. They could happen, and 9 out of 10 will probably tell you that they did happen, whether they are willing to admit it or not. You ask 10 people, at least 9 or a good large chunk of them will probably tell you either it did happen or it didn't happen, or they'll tell you they knew someone it happened to, because that's just the world we live in. In this big wide world filled with billions and trillions of, almost maybe even trillions of people, there are some stories that are not or haven't been said yet. Well, anyway, I suppose I've ranted enough about this topic for today. As I said before, look forward to Halloween Lights and Darkness Side Part 2, or Halloween Sides of Light and Darkness Part 2, coming shortly, but maybe later in this coming month. What is it? What is it? It is the 22nd. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wait, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. On the 29th. And look forward to my live stream on the 31st of Halloween. I might be doing something that same night, because instead of going out trick-or-treating with the little ones, because we ain't got no little ones right now, I'll probably just be handing out candy. But I will be doing a live stream on Halloween night. Look forward to that if you're looking forward to my videos. Like I said, 29th is the last Monday of October. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've made it a thing where I post videos on Mondays lately, trying to get myself into a consistent schedule as I move forward. How's it working for you so far? For me, it's doing fan-freaking-tastic, and I'm lying out my freaking ass. Hey, you know what? I just realized something. This is probably the first video that I didn't actually rage. Yes! Unless I'm lying, because I don't remember if I raged or not. I'll have to look back. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's all the time I have for this video. Good day, good night, good fortune to you all. Have a happy Halloween, a great October, great Halloween in the future, and do not forget to pick up candy, because you definitely don't want to get egged. Trick or treat, it's an option. Either give them a treat, or you will get tricked. Anyway, like I said, good day, good night, good fortune to you all. I'll have some more news for you on future videos and future events later. Get you later.